I'm Shant Avakian. I'm a volunteer with the Cancer Council in New South Wales. I'm married with 2 children and I have 2 grandsons, 7 and 2. Just before retiring, my boss came and asked me, "What are you going to do when you retire?" And I said, "I'm going to volunteer." And he said, "You fool." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, you can earn more money. You're good at it." And I said, "No, I want to volunteer." Because you see, what I believe is that helping people comes from within you. Volunteering for me is the first step. So that's why I've been volunteering with the Olympics, the Paralympics, the telecross, and now the Cancer Council New South Wales, which is something so gratifying that I'm very thankful for what I'm doing. I started with the Cancer Council 6 years ago, and I'm still going strong. During that period, I've been associated with the volunteer unit, where I process all the application forms, make sure that all the referee checks are done, and that everybody is suitable for the job they are applying for. Apart from that, I'm involved with the covering for the reception during lunchtime, and also I am with the callback service, and I'm a member of the social committee. A caller will ring the helpline, and after receiving all the information necessary that they were after, the operator will ask them whether it's okay for us to give them a call back in 2 weeks' time and see how they are doing and if they are in need of anything else. One day when I was calling one of the people who is rang the helpline, when I was talking to her, she said, "You have no idea how much help I've received from you people." That gave me so much satisfaction. She said they were driving away from a doctor, they didn't know what to do. And the next thing, right at the traffic lights, they were behind a bus. And on the bus there was the helpline written with the number. And she said, "I knew I can rely on them." I gave them a call and I got all the satisfaction, and I'm relaxed now. And that was for me enough to say that, oh, halfway cure, that's what we want to do. And that's what I'm here for.
My wife was diagnosed with stomach cancer, stage 4, in 1995. Underwent, the treatment, the radiotherapy, the chemotherapy, and surgery first of all. And she's very, very well now, and that's why we feel we have to give something back. Yeah, Griffith's is a very unique place. I guess we're sort of like an oasis in the desert. Irrigation's obviously important because we are a very large agricultural area, and that's where I fit in. I'm a citrus farmer, and we go through good times and bad, and just great to be there. The Griffith community is very united and very passionate when it comes to cancer. They absolutely want to see it defeated. It's ruined too many lives and too many families, and they see the Cancer Council and its holistic approach toward the problem as being integral in that. Being involved in the Relay for Life Task Force is a huge honour for me, particularly coming from the country. And Task Force is basically people, volunteers and Cancer Council staff coming together to formulate policies that help all communities across New South Wales and help us run our relays better. For example, it might be as simple as recruiting more survivors so that we can honour more people in their fight against cancer. Task Force gives people an opportunity, or volunteers an opportunity, to have an input into everything the Cancer Council does, and ultimately that affects everything in our community by placing volunteers at every level of decision making, and I think that's very important. It's really difficult to pick a favourite memory from Relay because from the moment it begins, almost at the planning stage, to the moment it finishes, which is almost an anticlimax, it's just so special. It's uplifting, and it encompasses every emotion, whether it be, how proud you are of survivors, particularly if they're family, or when you see the determination or the sadness felt during the candlelight ceremony. That's all, all moving right throughout the day. You just go through the emotional roller coaster. It is a very powerful event.
My name's Jo Hilda, and I'm the facilitator of the Mid-North Coast Cancer Action Network. I'm from Coffs Harbour. We have members in our advocacy network from all over the Mid-North Coast. We started out after the consumer advocacy training in Coffs Harbour 2 years ago, and our group formed from there. And since that time, we've been acting on advocacy issues in Taree, Coffs Harbour, and all over the Mid-North Coast. Most of our members have been through the advocacy training. We have a couple of members who've yet to train, but we believe that the advocacy training is really key to, being able to operate in the RAN and, going on with it. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2003. I found that the hardest thing for me to get back was my hope, my sense of optimism. And just around that time when I was dealing with a lot of those issues, I was invited to participate in advocacy training. But this gave me something that I could do not just for myself but for others to really make an impact against cancer.
Well, my job with the Cancer Council is drive the bus, and we drive it 5 days a week from Nowra to Wollongong and back to Nowra. I've been driving the bus for about 9 years, I think, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, as a matter of fact. I find the bus incredibly good for people, the fellowship which is on the bus. We get people on it for the first time and they get on the bus really worried, but within only minutes they're not worried. They've got other people on the bus with the same problem. There's always somebody handing out the lollies, and then when they get to the unit up there at the cancer care, if there's nobody there, I take them in there to make them feel a bit better.
We've had a fantastic crew on the bus. We've all been a happy family.
It's a great service and great drivers.
One of the patients the other day said we should have a video screen up here and we should do karaoke. And as a matter of fact, I said I'd be right into that, a bit hard driving.
I joined the Cancer Council in October 2007. It was my first venture into volunteering after having left paid employment earlier in the year. I elected to join the research division because of its stature in the marketplace, both nationally and internationally. And I've had friends and family who've been badly affected by cancer, so it was great to join the fight, if you like. I work for the Cancer Council Research Division as an advocate for the CLEAR study. The CLEAR study is a long-term important study about the evaluation of risk associated with lifestyle and genetic factors. It involves participation by patients and their spouses, where they undertake a questionnaire that talks about all about the lifestyle factors, whether it's exercise, sun exposure, diet, education, etc. And to get control, then we also interview their spouses, so that they who have not had cancer, so that we can get a comparison, if you like. The ideal situation is that we also get a blood sample from both the patient and their spouse, so that we can store that and do evaluations over a period to understand more about the genetic factors that influence cancer. I was keen to join because this study is a leading important long-term study which is highly regarded by the senior personnel at the Cancer Council. It will deliver results which will help to defeat cancer, not just one particular cancer type, but all types, if you like. It empowers participants to make a difference, and the study is easy to participate in, and certainly the role fits my skills and experience.
My name's Evan. I'm part of the Core Connect program at the Cancer Council. I've been involved with the program for quite a few years now, and basically in a nutshell, it's a one-to-one support program that links up newly diagnosed patients of a similar age and similar situation with someone that's actually survived cancer. I was diagnosed with testicular cancer over 10 years ago now. I've been in remission for over 8 years now. I actually had a lump in my testicle for over 3 years and I didn't actually tell anyone about it. So basically my motivation behind becoming a Core Connect volunteer is I always think back, if there was just someone that was there that I could speak to at the time of my diagnosis, it would have made my journey of my diagnosis a lot easier and a lot more comforting at the time. There's many ways of being referred to the Cancer Council Core Connect program. A lot of them are self-referrals, or others are through the hospital or local doctor, or even the secretary at a doctor's surgery. And it is a very confidential program. Like I did say, it is confidential. However, a particular phone call, I remember how anxious they were, and they'd just been diagnosed, only a few days into their diagnosis. They'd never actually been admitted into hospital. They've never had a needle. They were very nervous. So it's just great through that one phone call that they were able to go into their diagnosis and treatment with a bit more confidence and knowledge. And that was just simply by me sharing my own experience of having had cancer and just giving them a little bit of emotional support and practical advice. It was very beneficial. To become a Cancer Council Core Connect volunteer, we actually undergo a 2-day induction training, which is quite rigorous and quite involved. Quite basic things with phone skills and phone manner, but also a few more complex issues. For example, how to offer emotional support. In saying that, we're no experts, we're no medical professions, and we do not provide medical information other than sharing our direct experience of our own diagnosis and treatment.